Around 500 million years ago, ocean life suddenly surged to unprecedented biodiversity levels, and a new study suggests that that might have been caused by a cooling ocean climate. Welcome back to Paleopedia, and we all know what the Cambrian Explosion is. This event, around 540 million years ago, marked the beginning of wide, complex life globally. The importance of the Cambrian Explosion really can't go understated. It was the point where life took over the planet. It's super important. But what a lot of people don't know is that the Cambrian Explosion basically had a sequel event around 40 million years later, known as the Great Ordovician Biodiversification event. If the Cambrian Explosion is considered as producing the modern phylum of animals that we have today, the Great Ordovician Biodiversification event, or GOBE, G-O-B-E, is considered the filling out of these phylums. To put it simply, this event represents one of the most potent speciation events in life's history. This is when life diversified and spread out, and where we see established evolutionary lineages that lasted for 250 million years. To put it even more simply, without this event, life wouldn't be the same today. Now, despite the evolutionary significance and importance of the Cambrian Explosion and the GOBE, it is still unknown as to what exactly caused this diversification. In fact, we don't even know if we can really consider the Cambrian Explosion and the diversification event as separate events. They're close enough that most scientists are beginning to say that we might as well just consider it one big speciation and diversity event. Either way, whether we consider the two events as one or separate, we still don't entirely know what caused the biodiversification event. There are several different factors that might have contributed to it. Several proposed ideas for this event include rising sea levels due to continental drift, changing oxygen levels, and even meteor strikes, but a more significant theory is the oceans were getting cooler during this time, and that's what this new study supports. Back then, the planet was significantly warmer than it is today, and previous studies have suggested that throughout this biodiversification event, ocean temperatures dropped from around 40 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. And that's what this new study also suggests. It suggests that the oceans were getting cooler, and this is what allowed this biodiversification event to occur. The study combined a climate model based on the fossil record and our understanding of continental positions at the time with an ecological model that looked at the biodiversity patterns of the oceans. And this combined model suggests that as the oceans cooled, it became more habitable for life to spread across the planet, and so that's what life did. And based on our knowledge that colder water supports more biodiversity and more biomass, this isn't really all that surprising if this ends up being an accurate idea of what caused this biodiversification. And the results of this study can even potentially be applied to modern climate change in trying to figure out how biodiversity and life is going to react to an ever-warming planet caused by human activity. But for now, the study does help explain how and why life was able to diversify so heavily, as well as spread across the planet during this period. But there is a little bit of caution to be had here. Specifically, there might be an inadvertent sample bias from the fossil record, because so much of the fossil record during this time period is in the higher latitudes of the planet, because that's where life was before this event. Most likely, the cooling of the oceans was the driving cause behind this diversification event, but it most likely wasn't the only cause for this. There's probably other factors that we haven't really factored in or really looked at to figure out what caused it. But for now, you can thank a cooler planet for life as we know it.